Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Film Truth. Tonight, our lovely guests, Zach Avery and Burley Holden. So tonight, joining us, we have a director and a screenwriter here to talk about our main topic tonight, Forrest Gump. So Zach, what do you think of the directing as a director?
Well, let me tell you, Brogan, out of all the years of my experience, I think this is one of the most well-done movies that has been put together in the final product. I think that the director really did a nice job handling the actors, for one, because he has such a complex character. And the cinematography was really tasteful enough, and his blend with special effects was really, really tasty.
Wow,
you know what I mean?
my nerves.
I know,
Really
mine
does.
too. That's
It really
why I
does.
cry every time I watch that movie.
Wow.
I just love it.
What do you think, Burley?
Well, what I had thought when it was in my mind is exactly how Tom Hanks did it. You know, he had everything down pat. He had the simpleton look. He had everything. He had his want and longing for Jenny. Like, you could feel it. You could feel it. He just kept on running and all that. He was great. He was amazing. Tom Hanks' mother, she was absolutely on top of it.
Sally Field.
Huh?
Sally Field.
Yeah, she
Incredible
was
actress.
great. I
She
couldn't
really was.
like
She really was.
like just you could feel
She was the
connection.
character.
Yes, you could.
She was believable to me, and that's what I meant when I say that they really went into their characters. They obviously did some research on what an old lady dying would really act like.
From cancer.
From cancer.
Cancer.
Which isn't funny.
Pain, a lot of pain.
The directing's, it's so brilliant, it's funny.
It
It really is.
really is a great movie.
So Burley, as a screenwriter, what do you think about the screenwriting yourself?
Screenwriting was very good. I thought it was very good. You know,
Yes.
it was very sweet, heartfelt. You know, it warmed my heart.
I feel like everybody had an emotional connection to this movie.
Yeah. It's just he did so much in his life
Yes.
that more than any of us have ever done.
I know.
Yet, you know, it just every line of dialogue, it felt believable. It
Yes.
felt believable,
It really did.
even when they were on that bus. I meant bubblegum.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, this movie really did a great job of pulling my heartstrings. I mean, this movie pulled my heartstrings like Groucho Marx pulls on the harp. I mean, it's just a really heartfelt movie. It just caught me off guard.
Now, here's a really important question that I really can't decide about. What do you two think about the location of the movie?
Well,
Kind of a lonely suburbs.
go ahead.
Well, I thought that it made sense. It wasn't like it was the worst place around or something like that. It really gave some like a normal feel to it. Like, it's just an average, average place, average town. I mean, he's a little bit on the slower side, but besides that, everything,
Yes.
he had an average start.
He did. And that's why I thought the movie was very believable. Because it wasn't this, he wasn't stifled as a young child. He was always brought up as in, you're no different than anybody else, Forrest.
Right.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Except for when those kids picked on.
Yeah, except the one kid who threw a rock at him.
Yeah, that was not
I think it was a group.
It was a group.
awesome.
Beautiful location.
Yeah. So how would you two put the story together?
How would I put it together?
Some people can put the story together as it's about a slow boy turning into some very successful man, and how his entire younger life they told him how slow and how he couldn't do anything and how much he accomplished in that slow life of his. But then again, there's so many other stories involved within this story. It's amazing.
And that brings
The stories in this is countless. So I want to know what story stands out to you guys, because that's the story that kind of stands out to me.
Well, tell you what, I think the whole story of him being obsessed with his childhood friend. He's never had another friend other than,
Yes.
Jenny.
No, he
The
had
love side of the story.
And Bubba. Excuse me. And Bubba.
he had Bubba,
Yes.
and he also had Lieutenant Dan.
And Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant
after
Dan.
a while, yeah. But I think the whole story of his longing to be with Jenny after all this time has gone by is really moving.
Yeah.
It's realistic because we can relate to that. Like, we've all had that Jenny that just kind of goes off and
Right.
makes a fool of herself, but we always want her back anyway. I don't know. I've had many Jennys.
You know what
I
I
don't know
really-
about you guys.
Well, that's understandable. You look like a very man of the world. Anyway, what I really felt about the story, it made me feel like anything you want to do, you can do it.
Exactly.
Anything you want to do. He was not a very bright man. He was not dealt the best cards. But whatever he wanted to do, he did it. And he ended up being successful by perseverance. Even Jenny. Jenny did not want him like that at first, Jenny was she'd rather go off with dudes
In
popping
pickup
whatever they were
trucks.
popping back then. And
Exactly.
Samba vans.
nah,
It's what you call a hippie nowadays. I don't know what they called them back then. I wasn't
I think hippies.
there. Okay, so they were hippies.
Yeah, yeah. I really don't know how to comment on that answer. I'm sorry.
All right.
We don't do drugs.
Yes.
We wouldn't know that.
This is Hollywood.
I do lots.
Oh, jeez.
That's
So you
it.
guys want to show a clip of the video? And
Yeah, let's
Oh yeah.
head over
Let's
to
see a
that.
clip. Let's
Let's
see a
head
clip.
over to that.
and then
Let's
we
see a
can
clip.
maybe review a little bit after.
All right.
We will.
Let's see a clip. Wow. What an amazing clip. The acting was outstanding. What do you guys think about the acting? Not only in this clip, but how he turns around Bubba's death into a multi-million-dollar company called Bubba Shrimp Co.
Well, I think it's just great. I think it's great because he did not forget Bubba's dreams and whatnot. He wanted to have Bubba's dreams live on through what he can do.
Wow.
I just thought that was.
I thought that even though it was a sad part in the movie, that the turn of events, you wouldn't, I mean, I'm sure everyone made the connection that Bubba is the shrimper, he's got a boat, but who knew it would really turn out to be Bubba Gump Shrimp?
Exactly.
I mean, I thought that was very creative on one hand, and on the other hand, it turned death into kind of a peaceful thing, and it showed how much Tom Hanks' character, Forrest, cared for Bubba. You can obviously see that they were very close.
The acting.
together.
Yeah,
Well, they were brothers.
brilliant.
Very excellent.
It's really crazy too, how the different races at that time could come together and become brothers.
And I think that's another good aspect of it, because you didn't see a whole lot of that. But the Vietnam War, maybe the only thing that was good about that, and I don't even know this for fact, but I know those two made it work. So there must have been somebody else in the Vietnam War that made it work.
Exactly. Burley, what is your favorite acting scene in that little scene that we just did?
My favorite above all else. I'm not even sure if this one counts too much because you guys were all on the racing, but when Lieutenant Dan wants to stay and die, would rather stay and die than be saved by Forrest.
He's a very proud man. Very proud.
That is a very intense.
Just screaming, leave me, leave me.
And if you remember in the story, his whole family history had been involved in every war, conflict, and everything. And he had always had some family member die along the way. So he wanted to carry on the tradition, but instead they'll be calling him Seamus from now on, which is too bad. I mean, it's not funny.
I thought it was funny. Well, it looks like that's all the time we have today.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight, guys, for a movie review of Forrest Gump and about its most incredible things, its directing, screenwriting, and acting. Thank you so much for watching Movie Truth. And a most special thank you to our director,